You can keep me company. Tell me more stories about Hawaii or Japan or wherever, as long as they don't involve tennis. Joe has not been back since morning, and I don't know whether to be concerned or pleased," she said. Clark sat on the only chair. He wondered how much she remembered about getting to the sick bay, and how he had half walked, half carried her down there, worried she might pass out again. Her skin was smooth as cream, and she smelled like violet or lavender, or one of those purple flowers his mother loved so much. She sat back on the bed, leaning into a pile of pillows to prop her up, and held a small packet of ice wrapped in cloth to her cheek. "I'm usually not squeamish about blood, unless it's mine. Then all bets are off," she said. There had been a boatload of blood. Enough that he had had to take a few deep breaths to steady himself. Being in the Navy didn't necessarily cure one of squeamishness, a weakness he was not proud of. "You're one up on me, then," he said. "I don't do well with blood in general." Being a doctor's daughter made me immune. Or so I thought. I've never actually had stitches myself or any type of surgery, she said, closing her eyes and sinking back. "I imagine it's different when you or someone you care about is hurt," he said, thinking of Beth. He tried to shut the memory out of his mind, but it was always there, just beneath the surface, a gash in his soul that would never heal. "Dr. Wallace must be a skilled surgeon, because those stitches look like they were done by a Singer machine." At the mention of Wallace, she perked up. "Lucky me. What are the odds there was a trauma surgeon on deck? He's someone I'd like to learn from, and he seems more reasonable than many doctors I know. I do She stopped mid-sentence and looked flustered, then changed course. "I'm going to try to attend his lectures in Honolulu." He contemplated asking what she'd meant, but got the feeling she didn't want to talk about it. "Lucky may not be the word I'd have chosen," he said. She brightened, trying to maintain a straight face. "Please don't make me laugh. And not lucky you hit me, lucky for Wallace being on hand." "After last night's bingo, I get the feeling that luck follows you around on a leash," he said. "You're wrong there," she said in a flat voice. She did look awfully thin. Her cheekbones were more pronounced than they should have been. Her collarbones, too. He was all too familiar with the haunting ravages of hardships and loss, and got a feeling she was as well. You could see it in the hollows of her eyes and the sharp angles of her face. Maybe that was what was drawing him to her almost like an invisible force. Watching the way she kept switching arms to hold the ice on her cheek, Clark finally had to intervene. He scooted the chair to the side of her bed. "Let me hold that for you." For a moment he thought she would refuse, but her arm flopped down. He took the cloth from her hand and touched it to her cheek. She closed her eyes again and sighed. "Thank you." A pool of purple was forming under her eye, just below where her lashes hit. What an asinine maneuver! He blamed it on his reflexes, and his stupid drive to win. But no game was worth splitting a woman's cheek open. "I feel like such a louse. How can I make it up to you?" he said. Eva must have been thinking hard because she took her sweet time in answering. "How about teaching me a few phrases in Japanese? If Hawaii is full of Japanese people, it might help me to know a little," she said, raising an eyebrow his way. Despite himself, he'd been thinking more along the lines of dinner in Waikiki or taking a drive to the Pali Lookout, but he sensed a hesitance on her part. Just a whisper, but there. "You got it," he said. God, why was he so easy all of a sudden? Dinner was spent discussing war theories again. The army guys were certain Japan was going to go for the Dutch East Indies for their oil, while the plantation manager said no, it would be the British stronghold of Singapore. The general public only knew what they read in the papers or heard on the radio.